Wait, you knew?
Yes. The Resistance has been trying to gain contact for the past few weeks, and the intel you've gathered is vital to our cause.
Wait, I'm confused. What is he talking about?
Questions for later. We have to stay under the radar for a while.
But you killed them off.
Exactly. They'll be looking for us. Now let's go! Audio test. I've been doing a lot of audio tests ever since I got this new microphone for Christmas, but anyway. Greetings, curious concerns of visitors or fellow subscribers. This is Director Brian, and Happy New Year! After 15 days, at least at the time this video is going up. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Resolution of 2021 video. I apologize that there isn't really a trailer for this time, even though I said in the description of the Christmas video that I was going to be doing a trailer. That was done before I even realized how much work I was putting into what you just saw at the very start of this video. But yes, as you can no doubt aware from the very start of the video, I am indeed working on Splatenstein episode 2.
Fucking finally, what took you so long?
Is what I'm pretty sure a lot of people are asking. And just like with the Tormented Part 4, which took a very long time to finally get out, this is the result of a lot of different things going on. Whether it was finishing up college or whether it was because of other things that I was just trying to take care of, a few other small things that I wanted to get done, as well as a new part-time job that I had gotten back in like June of last year. There's just been a lot of things that have been going on as of recently that have kind of prevented me from working on a lot of big projects. But the fact that you're seeing that clip now, which was the first minute of Splatenstein episode 2, I'm finally working on Splatenstein episode 2, and I am still kind of working on it even as this video goes up. It's been a long time coming, and I've actually gotten the motivation to finally continue this project. And before anyone else asks, no, I have no idea when episode 3 is going to be coming out, because by the time that this project is done, I am going to be focusing on a few other things, especially Splat Fresh War, which is kind of the reason why I wanted to do this video instead of a trailer, so I could actually talk to you guys about what's going to be going on for the future and all the other projects that I've had in the back of my mind that I would like to work on this year. Also, completely ignore this at the start. You may be noticing why I'm wearing this beanie. Despite getting a haircut not that long ago, my hair is still just kind of going absolutely crazy every time I wake up in the morning, and I just kind of wanted to wear this so that way it doesn't look like I'm a fucking homeless person. But also completely ignore the Call of Duty Ghost shirt. I just have it as a sleep shirt, even though I personally don't even think that Ghost is that bad of a game. Then again, I have low standards for Call of Duty. Either that, or it's just because I'm very patient with a lot of games. But enough talk about that stuff, let's actually get down to business. Before starting off with topics on what's going to be coming this year, I would also like to talk a little bit about the stuff that happened as of last year when it came down to stuff for the channel. Very obviously, the Tormented Part 4 finally came out, as I had mentioned before. It was an absolute blast to work on, and I really am proud of the reception that came out of it, even if it wasn't as big as the first 3 episodes. YouTube's algorithms always continue to fuck me over, but at the same time, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Just the fact that people were very happy that the Tormented Part 4 finally came out was enough for me to be happy with the work that I had put into it. I mean, hell, a 27-minute long video could have been split up into 2 parts, but I didn't really want to do that because I really wanted to get this thing out to you guys as soon as possible, and I wanted the finale of this season to really just, like, be a big one. In combination with that, there were a few other things that I did as well, including a few small projects like Kindred Within, which was that SMG4 tribute that I did, a few SFM videos as well, most of which were based on Doom. It was very interesting going into Source Filmmaker at that time because I had never really used that before, and I just kind of wanted to get myself into the roots and just, like, really used to it. I'm not really sure when I'm going to get back to doing more Source Filmmaker stuff, but if I ever get the motivation to do anything like that, I'll definitely consider it. It'll probably only be like small stuff until I'm ready to start thinking a little bigger. There's no transition plan plans, I am still sticking with Gary's mod as of right now. But hey, you never know. Maybe I might actually enjoy doing Source Filmmaker. Of course, if I am going to consider doing big projects, I may have to consider getting a better computer because honestly, I really don't think my computer can completely handle Source Filmmaker because of just how big of a program it is. But aside from that, there were a few other things that I was also very proud of as well, including an uncanny showdown with Compulsion, which was the little thing between Fiametta and the Inhabited, among a few other short videos. Overall, when it comes down to videos on the channel, I'm actually very proud of what I was able to accomplish in 2020. Even though the year definitely could have been a lot better for many different reasons, I am still happy that I was able to get a lot of things done and out to you guys, especially after finally finishing college. But now the review is out of the way, let's actually talk about what's coming in 2021. Very obviously, my next big project focus is going to be Splat's Fresh War. This is something that I've been very excited to work on, even though it's still going to take a long while before I actually officially get started, especially considering that I had to extend the casting call another time, which by the way, the extension is going to last for at least 2 weeks, and I also added in 2 new roles into the casting call. So if you're interested in auditioning for any of those roles, definitely be sure to check out the site and be sure to
Give it your best, I suppose.
And of course, there are a few other roles that will require more than one actor, so if you ever want to audition for any of those, you're definitely free to as well. But when it comes down to Splat's Fresh War, the script is still being consistently worked on. I've been adding a lot of new things and just changing a lot of things to make sure that the end product overall turns out to be satisfying, not just for me, but for everyone else as well. This is actually the first time that I've done any extended planning for a project of this caliber, and I don't normally do that with a lot of series. Usually whenever I work on these different videos, I usually like to work on them as I go along rather than just working on them all at once. But Splat's Fresh War is very different because I actually worked on every single episode in terms of script writing, and most of the episodes are already done. The only thing that I really need to worry about is just touching up things like dialogue, as well as just making sure if the episode count is good enough and whether or not I should add more or less. A few touches here and there, and much like I mentioned before, making sure each of the roles are filled. This is of course the biggest part of making any kind of project, because when you're working on these kind of things, you want to make sure that the roles are all filled and make sure that those lines are in, so that way when you're finally ready to animate, they're at least there at your disposal to start working on. And it should be noted that there are a lot of roles to be filled, so even when all the voice actors have been gathered and even when the script has been completely finished, it's still going to take a while before I get started. But it also shouldn't take as long for each episode to come out, since I already have everything ready. There have been a few ideas that I've had in mind in terms of how I want to execute this series, but a lot of those ideas might not actually be implemented into the final product. We just have to wait and see, because I am still a very busy person. Again, I have a part-time job, and as of such, a lot of my time is eaten up. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop working on these videos as much. Absolutely not. I'll still be dedicating a lot of time into these things. It's just that there might not be as much time to do them as I initially wanted to. But it's no big deal, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of fun working on these things anyway, even if it may take months. Who knows? This thing might not even be ready until next year. I mean, I have absolutely no way of knowing. Just know that this isn't going to be like any other kind of project like Ninja Spiden or whatever, where I have the idea set, but I don't do any actual work before actually doing any kind of animating, because at that point I just say, fuck it, I don't think it's even worth it at all. Everything has been set in stone, a lot of things are still being built up along the way, and I know for a fact that I am going to be working on this. It will take some time, but just know it's gonna happen. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the next subject of the matter, which is the Tormented. This is honestly kind of a bit of a difficult situation, considering there are certain subjects that have happened as of recently that have currently made working on the Tormented a little bit difficult. Not in terms of actual work, but from a mental standpoint, it's just been very difficult to really enjoy making anything for the Tormented. Season 2 still hasn't been written down yet, and the Tormented Zero New Beginnings, I've only gotten a little bit of work done into the script, and I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get that out. If anything, I might be able to get it done before Splat's Fresh War, but at the same time, I'm not exactly certain about that yet. And I'm mostly talking about New Beginnings. I'm not talking about Season 2. I have absolutely no idea when that's going to happen. But considering the amount of work that I am currently putting into Splat's Fresh War, it may take some time. Because on that note, I would have to worry about 3 different series all at once, so I really need to manage my time. Especially considering that Season 1 to the Tormented ended back last year. I'm just not exactly sure where the Tormented is going to be going, so please don't be too upset if you don't hear anything related to the Tormented for a little while. I know it took a long time to finally get Part 4 out, and as a result, people are probably going to be asking,
when's the Tormented Part 5? When's Season 2 coming out?
But I am pointing this out right now, just to make sure that there is not as much disappointment later on. It will take a while before I'm ready to continue working on that. especially with a big enough workload on my back already. So I really hope you guys understand. Up next is Splatenstein Episode 2. Again, you saw the clip at the start, you know that I'm working on this, and I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to come out, but I can definitely assure you that it's going to be soon. In terms of anything coming after Episode 2, that's where I'm not exactly certain. I haven't written anything down for Episode 3 yet. In fact, the only thing related to Splatenstein that I really have a big plan of is just like a whole timeline of events. And I can work based on that, but I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to get the motivation to work on the next episode. So again, just like with the Tormented, don't be surprised if you don't hear from Splatenstein all that soon after Episode 2. Just know that I am working on Episode 2 because I know a lot of you folks have been wondering where it is, and I would like to continue it. Just know it's very hard to manage 3 different series for a channel, especially when one of them is one that I haven't even started yet, in terms of like animating or like releasing any kind of episodes. And considering that Splatter's Fresh War is one of my most ambitious projects, any work on any other series might be a little absent. But regardless, I still hope you guys are anticipated for Episode 2. I know I am. I'm still very much enjoying working on this thing after such a long time. And when it gets closer to completion, you guys will know when it's coming out.
I promise you.
What's up next is the Why Do We Hold music video. This is something that has taken so long for me to do, and I really kind of have some explaining to do. I may have mentioned this before on my Twitter account, but then again, I don't know how often people go onto my Twitter account when it comes down to anything related to projects or anything like that, but allow me to do a little bit of some discussing. A lot of you guys may remember that Draw the Line Retold music video that I uploaded around a few months back, and it definitely fell out of place considering there really was no discussion in terms of me working on the project at all. And that's because it was supposed to be part of something that was much bigger before I started working on Splatter's Fresh War, but unfortunately, it just didn't end up working out in the end. And it was going to lead up into the release of the Why Do We Hold music video, but unfortunately, because of my motivation for decreasing and more of my motivation for Splatter's Fresh War increasing, the idea ultimately fell through, which is why you only saw like the Draw the Line Retold video. And unless you're one of those folks that actually keeps track of my channel and all the other videos that are on there, you may not have noticed that the Draw the Line music video, like the original, is not on the videos category. Just so I'm clear, the video is still on the channel. It's an unlisted video as of right now, but you won't be able to find it in the videos tab of my channel anymore. That's because when it comes down to the original video, I'm not exactly as proud of it as I was back then. And the only reason why I uploaded a retold version of that music video was because there were a lot of ideas that I kind of wanted to do in the original, but I just never really had a lot of the energy to kind of fill in those gaps. But now that I've improved with some of my animation skills, I decided to incorporate a few new moments into the music video and incorporate them into a much more refined, much more visually appeasing version. And I'm much more proud of this version than I was with the original, especially considering that I've been refining the story of that music video for something much bigger. I don't want to go into too much discussion right now because I still have yet to work on the Why Do We Hold music video, which is supposed to be sort of a semi-conclusion to this particular arc. But in due time, I'll definitely talk a little bit more about it. Up next are short videos. Hi there, Brian a few hours into the future here. Can't fucking believe I completely forgot about this particular subject before going on to the short videos. But I also meant to discuss the Mata Hive music video. It completely crossed my mind when I was originally recording this video because it is something that I still want to get done this year as well. I've been doing a little bit of some thinking and I've been considering actually changing the song for the music video. Not to say that I don't like Mata Hive or because I don't really think it would fit well with the ideas that I have, but there is another song that I found which I think would properly fit the music video in mind. It's not completely a final decision yet, but it is something I've been considering. And yes, I am still working on it, and I probably will work on it right after finishing Splatenstein Episode 2, so yeah. Just figured I'd point that out real quick. Okay, bye. Back to past me. For someone who really likes working on a lot of big projects, working on short videos has been a lot more difficult as of lately. There are a lot of people out there who really enjoy The Last Can 1 and 2, which are some of my favorite short videos on the channel, and a lot of people's favorite as well, considering the first part is almost at 1 million views, and has been stuck there for the longest time, but it's not like it really matters, thanks YouTube. But making new ideas for short videos has just been very difficult because I feel like if I continue doing a lot of those, I might just eventually get really samey, even though ironically, when it comes down to big projects, I have a lot more creative freedom under my belt. I just don't know what it is. Don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of ideas for short videos, it's just I'm not exactly sure if they would work. A little while ago I did upload a collab entry for SMG4's Mega Collab, and even though it didn't make it into the collab, I still had a lot of fun making it, even if it was just sort of random and I just kind of improvised the entire thing without even writing a script. And a lot of people really seem to enjoy it, especially considering its length, which really has me wondering, would you guys like to see more videos that are around like less than a minute long? If so, what kind of stuff would you like to see? Now, I'm not asking for a full
Detailed request, like do this with this and all this other stuff in this universe, and include my character as a cameo, please.
I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about requests like a theme, a subject matter, or anything else. Kind of like the If Splatoon was in Call of Duty Zombies video. Just a simple concept that I can work on my own with, a bunch of other stuff like that. Because if I am going to make a lot of short videos, I really don't want to have to put too much work into it, considering I'm already putting enough of that work into bigger projects. But I'd still like to do them at some point, so please let me know in the comments if you want to see any of that kind of stuff in the future. But yeah, that was a random sporadic update involving all the other stuff that are coming this year, as well as a review of the stuff that came in the last year. This is the shit I have to deal with when I don't have a script. There are a lot of other stuff that I would like to talk about, but aside from like the main subjects, there really aren't that much else to go over. And it's definitely less engaging than an actual trailer that shows you all these kind of things. Just thinking about it now just makes me feel even worse for just sitting down in front of a camera and actually talking about the stuff that you guys really want to hear about. Aren't I such a great person? But yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to talk about in terms of what's coming this year. If there are any more things that I would like to work on, I'm pretty sure they'll mostly just come off as a bit of a surprise. I mean, there's nothing wrong with surprises after all. If I am going to do a trailer for what's going to be coming this year, it may come a little bit later after I'm done with Splatenstein episode 2. Kind of like the one from last year where I was going to upload it for the 15th, but because I was so caught up in college, I just wasn't able to complete it until my birthday of that year. But yeah, I'm not making any promises for a trailer coming out this year, which is just kind of why I decided to do an update video instead. But yeah, like with last year, I am very much looking forward to what I'm going to be working on this year, and I'm really hoping I can do even better this time. Again, a lot to look forward to. Splatenstein episode 2, Splat of Fresh War, potentially stuff for the Tormented, but again, I can't make any promises. Maybe some short videos if you guys would like to see them, among various other things. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys very much for sticking around. I really do hope that this year does turn out better than the last one. 2020 was good for me personally when it came for the channel, but when it came down to everyone else, it just was a big clusterfuck. So hopefully this year does turn out better. With that being said, this has been Director Brian with the resolution of 2021, and I will see you all next time. Farewell!